Hello and welcome to another episode of the NHL Weekly. I'm Kyle Winkler and today's team preview is on the Chicago Blackhawks. First off, congratulations to the Blackhawks on their Stanley Cup win. It was very exciting to watch that Game 6, and also my apologies to the Boston Bruins fans, as that was a hard loss to take. So for the Chicago Blackhawks, they had some major moves they had to put on during the offseason to stay within salary cap. They had to trade away Dave Bolland and Mikko Frolik, who were very big players in getting them to the Stanley Cup. And Dave Bolland obviously having the game-winning goal in Game 6. Those are big. Frolik and Kruger were the number one penalty kill guys for the Blackhawks, and they were one of the top penalty killing units in the league. So that's going to hurt them to have to come back from that. And Bolland, I didn't know how to feel about this because everyone thought that he was going to be that second line center that they needed. Now they do have Paris in the minors getting ready to come up, and everyone suspects him to be that second line center. But I don't know. I guess they gave up on Bolland being that guy and accepted that he wasn't going to really be that man for them. So they traded him to Toronto, where he'll most likely get a very good opportunity with Grabowski's absence now. But I think that you can't count out Mikko Handzus because he was a very, very large factor in taking that team to the Stanley Cup as well. And I think he really showed that he can be more than just a third-line center at his age, which was very impressive. And he really helped with the fluidity of the second line with Sharp and Hossa. Now, I think Crawford, he's going to be exactly like he was last season. He's going to be a threat. He's going to be above average, not one of the best, but above average. But I think the absence of Emery, that kind of hurts the team. He only lost one game the entire season and won 17, so you can blame that on either the Blackhawks as a great defensive and offensive unit, or you can blame that on Emery playing fantastic hockey. Either way, it's going to hurt. But I think they can recover. They brought in Nikolai Khabibulin, and it's a one-year deal. And I'm not sure where they're going with the backup situation, if they're just going to play it by ear next season. But moving forward, the goaltending is solid, and the defensive unit hasn't changed, which is good. And the offensive unit has lost a few key pieces, but they were able to sign Brian Bickle, and honestly, I think they overpaid for him. I think that he had a fantastic season, and it was insane, and an even better playoff. But overall, I don't think he's going to be a first-line guy like he was in the playoffs. He will be a second-line guy on a team that doesn't have Marian Hossa or Patrick Sharp, but most likely he'll be a third-line player. And there's nothing wrong with that because you need guys like that, but I don't think that he's worth the money that they put into him. But I may be wrong, and he may, come back and score just like he did last season, but I would be very surprised if that happened. But moving forward, the Chicago Blackhawks are still one of the elite teams in the league with Kane and Taves, obviously, and Hossa and Sharp and Duncan Keith and Seabrook. And they have some prospects they're trying to move through. They're going to most likely be as good, if not a little bit worse, because it's hard to top what they did last season, but they'll still be an elite team, and they'll be fighting for, the division title in the new conference.